Salvete omnes, salvete amici, nomen mihi est Decimus Aurelius Ingeniarius. Hello, good day, good evening. Welcome to the Roman Twitch channel, brought to you by Nova Roma, right here on Twitch. Yes, I am Decimus Aurelius, and you're watching the Republic of Rome board game broadcast, which we started in 2022 and continues on in session 17 this evening. We're about to enter into turn 12's Senate phase. We're in for an interesting time. So it wasn't apparent to us at the end of the last session, but thanks to our good friends and observers, in particular Alan Richborough, our rules experts out there in the wilderness, revealed to us that our matching Macedonian war is actually an additional war that needs to be counted separately. So that's 6 wars that our senators and our republic have on the board. So what that means for them tonight and in their deliberations for the Senate is they must plan to defeat and actually defeat at least three wars by the end of the coming combat phase. So it will make it for a very interesting evening. We'll see how we go tonight. Traditionally, our Senate sessions have gone quite long, but noting what the common goal is, we'll see where that takes us. But otherwise, if you're watching live, stay tuned. We're going to transition now to a virtual tabletop environment brought to us by Tabletop Simulator. So hang around, don't go away. We'll be right back. Okay, we are now live here in the virtual tabletop environment. We are looking at our board, and naturally what I like to do is I like to do a little bit of a technical check to make sure that everything is working. So we move the board around, make sure that you guys can see everything that I can see, and we'll of course do an audio test to make sure that you can hear all of our senators. So senators, give us a salvete.
Salvete.
Yeah, that's looking pretty good from my end, which is absolutely fantastic. All right. Let us not dilly-dally as we launch into the Senate phase, which sort of become active at the end of last session, thanks to the conclusion of the population phase. So from here, we're going to move into the election of the consuls, or the proposals of the consuls. So over to you, Dictator Appius Rufus.
Thank you very much. So next step is the election of consuls, right? Okay.
Yes.
Given that we have so many wars, we need the most effective military leaders. And therefore, I would propose, even though Cornelius Scipio Africanus is a controversial statesman.
He's a Roman hero, is what he is.
Yeah, he's for sure, he is the hero. But he has so much gravitas, so much influence in the state. But I guess necessity knows no law, and therefore I will nominate him as a consul. So, is there anyone who has a good military leader, which I'm not? Yeah. Okay. Let me think about it. 28 influence and 35 influence is needed for automatic consul for life, right? This is too close, right? 25 is already dangerous, but maybe possible.
Or
close.
that could continue to be a master of horse to a potential Flaminius dictator.
Yes, that's possible. Yeah. Flaminius dictator, but where is Flaminius currently? Sorry,
Yours.
Cannot. In where? Where is Flaminius?
He's currently the leader of your faction.
I was going to say, isn't it the only thing was that the standoff numbers were nullified with Aemilius Macedonus on the Macedonian Wars, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, you mean Flamininus? Okay. I was confused because I catched up that you
I
said
think probably the key question
Flaminius.
is, what are the 3 wars we want to fight? Let's work backwards from that.
Yeah.
Since we have Scipio available, it would be foolish to not prosecute the Third Punic War in my estimation.
That
But
makes sense.
that's for the Senate ultimately to decide. But he is a good leader, and other wars, I would guess we pick the easy ones, and we should leverage that we've got Julius.
So if we try the first Gallic War again, then could we not go after the Lusitania and the Sicilian rebellion?
Yes, we could do this. So, and would leave Scipio out of the picture.
It would, yeah, that's one alternative.
Or a better way to say it is maybe it saves him for another turn.
Yeah, because you're
Okay.
still going to need a big army, right? So if we put all the army after the Carthaginians, then potentially it
Okay.
leaves us the cupboard bare for the third war.
And
I
I,
don't think
then I take it that you are saying that we don't need necessarily the best military leaders. We can pick also, like, say, level 3 military leaders.
Yeah,
Is this
possibly.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would. Okay.
So we'd have
Then,
a Manlius or a Sulpicius type figure.
it may not be a bad idea to do like the 3 easy wars, because that will also produce 3 veterans, assuming we don't lose any. So that will actually increase their military strength by 3 for the next turn.
It's good advice.
Okay. The 3 easy wars are then the Gallic, the Lusitanian, and the Sicilia, right?
Correct.
In your estimation. Then I would change my nomination. Then I will not nominate Scipio, I guess. That's thanks to the advice of the senators. Which one do we have here? So Sulpicius has military leadership with level 3. And
Yeah,
He's an elder.
he's an elder. I am
Ah,
the nursing home.
Okay. Okay. That's
We both are.
okay. And okay, the Rome consul Cassius is out of the picture. He cannot be nominated again.
Correct.
Correct. Then we have Aelius.
Who's also an
Oh,
elder.
he's also an elder. Okay, man. Oh, okay.
And
Let's see who is not an elder. Let's see who's not an elder.
The gerontocracy is going to fall.
I have to go to the left side actually, because I saw on the right side all the elders are on the right side actually here.
We have one elder, well, no elders that are bloody, what do you call it? High military.
Yeah, now I recognize. Okay, that's.
We have like
I'm not favoring to send a military level 1 to a war.
So is it that is the issue that elders can't leave Rome? Is that the
yes.
correct.
right? Okay.
Choosing a level 1 military leader, isn't this like suiciding or what? Oh, I don't know.
It probably won't be, but it's
Okay.
we also want to be as safe as we can. Like I agree. Like we don't need 6s and 5s, but 1s is getting a bit low.
Okay.
At least
Then
until
I
we do
will-
the math.
Let me see what I can do then here.
Claudius.
Claudius? Okay. Okay. Then I will nominate Claudius. And who else? Who else has a 2 at least and it's not elder
And is an ancient.
and
Claudius.
okay. Then let's go with Plautius.
All right.
Yeah.
Cupboard's pretty bare, isn't it?
Then I will put this to the vote. And let's start with Marcus Decimus Meridius.
I'll put my 15 votes in favor.
Then Numerius Aurelius Ingeniarius. What is your vote on this?
17 votes against.
Then I ask Quintus Octavius Gorges.
My 2 votes will definitely matter. So I'm
Sorry, I
gonna
didn't
go
mean to
with-
laugh.
my 2 will go to yes.
Tiberius Cornelius Jacobus
Oh, yay.
and Marca Velia.
I'm going to vote yay, but I still had a question. Why didn't we go for somebody from your faction? Oh no, we can't send the dictator. Is that why we didn't send like Quinticus Flaminius.
We want to hold it back for the
Yeah.
Macedonians.
I guess the idea is to keep him for the Macedonian War
Yeah,
and not
definitely.
give him too much influence now, because then we would take this option away from the Senate, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, 16 in favor.
Alright.
I will vote in favor.
All right. So the first proposal for the Senate phase has passed. We now have some new consular elects. So we're going to do some administration now in the background. The dictator and the old master of horse. Well, I think the master of horse has already given back their purple tokens. And now the new consuls are going to adopt their proposal. So we've got Claudius, did we see, from Appius Rufius faction, and one from Platius, I think from Marcoedia's faction in the red. So red and yellow. A new consul. So they're now discussing amongst themselves, for those that haven't seen this part before, about who's going to take on which position, who's going to be the Rome consul, who's going to be the field consul, which generally will be agreed to by the respective new consuls.
So, Marcoedia. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I don't think we've had
you.
many disagreements in this particular game, have we? Between consuls, who's going to be which, have we?
Not too badly, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was
Appius
this
Rufius, I've
season
just
or
messaged you in the
last
chat
season.
down the bottom.
Yeah, I think we've had a disagreement with choosing a dictator, but I can't remember if that was this season or last season.
Yeah, true.
Both.
Both? Okay.
I think so.
New consuls.
What is your opinion on the distribution of the consulships, Marca?
I'm just messaging you.
Oh, sorry.
Good.
Yeah, we will both be consul, but
Mhm.
we have now to choose who is taking the lead.
For the old consoles, did you guys, if you didn't already have the prior console markers, make sure you've got one for
Okay,
the
yeah.
old consoles, please?
Yeah, that's correct. Good. Oh, I did have one. Okay.
Yeah, good. Just make sure you already have one if you didn't already.
Yeah. So the question is, okay, then. So Marca will be field consul, and I will be Rome consul. With your consent, Marca?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Thank you, Phil.
Nice. All right, we've got some electees. Very good.
And I have
So the Fuscus will not travel too far, at least initially. And don't forget to add your influence, please, new consoles, while you're here. That's 5 for each of you. Add that to your influence tallies if you haven't already.
Yeah. I would like now to discuss with my fellow consul if there is any need of a dictator or not, and I would advise to ask the Senate for their opinion in this matter too.
Should we do some combat calculators to work out how we're situated?
Yeah.
All right. So for those watching along at home, the two consoles, and I guess in part with many of the rest of the senators, are now discussing as to whether the need for a dictator is present. And the dictator conditions usually mean, a war with strength 20 or more, or there are 3 or more wars on the board, which they certainly have here in this particular case. And it looks like they're going to do some calculations based on the wars that are out there. That's why the combat calculator is up on screen to determine what sort of odds they could get based on current commanders, or whether they can have a dictator involved.
Yeah, because there's also Sempronius and also Cassius that are not elders that don't have as much influence.
Yeah, good point about the elders. The new consoles
There's
both
very, very, very
enough?
few kinds of
Good.
options.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looking at our
Okay, so-
forces, we've got 13.
Which war would we go first?
Marcoedia, can you hear Marcus Decimus and vice versa?
Yes, I can hear Marker.
Okay, hang on. I should
Marika,
need
can
to
you-
turn my thing up. It's just
Sure.
really soft. Sorry, I
Yeah,
think
sure.
that's on me.
If you want to do another test, Marcus Decimus, to make sure Marika Weddy
Oh,
can
no,
hear you.
it's just my volume button. I'm
Oh, is
sorry.
it? Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Just checking.
Yeah, I was just saying for everyone's information, looks like we've got 13 legions worth of strength back at home, and 1 legion that can be recruited. So a total of 14 strength at home that we can distribute to the available wars and forces.
Is that including the legion that we have 2 of them that are out?
No, not including those, which we can recall.
Or couldn't we also? I have a wild idea, but we couldn't also leverage the circumstance that we have some possible prosecutions with the censor, and if Scipio Africanus and, for example, Aemilius Paulus Macedonicus would consent to get a minor prosecution, maybe
don't
then
need
we could
to
now
prosecute
decide to take them
prosecute.
as dictator, and
Well, we couldn't do Scipio this turn. He doesn't have a valid marker.
okay, yeah, correct. Oh, my, yes. Good catch. Good catch. Okay.
So which one are we putting in the calculator?
Why don't we
Let's go.
confirm the Gallic War first? Just see
Yeah,
if the
let's go.
Yeah, that's what I was putting in. I was putting kind of, I hope I'm doing it correctly, but I was just putting it in then. A bit.
Okay, 10, 30, 15 is correct, but Commander 4 now it's correct. Legion strength, let me see.
So that looks right. 83% chance of
Yeah.
victory there.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's just test this out.
Is this a
Test.
preview?
The dice are working.
Oh,
That's the roll we want later.
Guys, the
just
dice are
waste-
hot.
Can we
just
save
wasted
this
our
state
good
now?
one. Yeah. We've rolled our portent dice for this turn.
Okay, good.
It's our dice to use later in the
well,
game,
let's-
which we'll use.
All right. So the first Gallic War looks adequate for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we said
Then-
last time, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, that's right.
Well, it is technically 1 stronger this turn because we gained a veteran.
True.
unit.
True.
So that's going to make the difference.
So for the Lusitanian, take it down to 6.
6, yeah. And it's a 6 and the...
And what we've got commander strengths of 2 for both our consoles. Is
Yep.
that correct? Okay, so we can leave that as that.
And the other, yeah, 11, 16, that's correct. Okay, good.
All right, so let's keep lowering the legion strength until we see the percentage start. Okay, so it starts changing around 10.
Yep.
And what's our available forces? It's
13.
14.
Oh, 14.
14.
14,
Yeah.
which we recruit.
Yeah, recruit and no, it'll be 15 because we also have a
Yeah.
unit.
We could recruit 1.
Yeah, we have a unit over in Cyprus which we can with
We have
call.
We have 1 here, and then we have another unit up
Do
here.
we?
Just don't forget that you do have another internal disorder to deal with in the next revenue phase if you survive, by the way.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. We did pull that, didn't we?
Yes.
Mhm.
Just want to bring that to your attention for your future planning.
Yeah.
No,
That's
that's
good.
actually very useful. Okay,
Okay.
okay. In that case, we'll assume we can't pull those. So our original idea of 14 is correct. So we could send 10 there.
All right. And what's that give us for Sicilia? So
So really not enough. So let's see, what was 5, 6. So to get the same kind of percentages, we want 6. So maybe 9 and 5.
what's the odds of hitting 3 80% rolls?
Oh,
0.80% times 80% times 80%.
do you want me to test it right now?
Yeah, I can put it into a calculator right now. I'll find me my calculator. Is it exactly 80? I can be a bit more precise.
I think they're all about 83, aren't they? On the
If we
So
roll
let's do 83
yeah.
cubed. It's 83 cubed.
83.3.
Yeah. Best case, it's about 57%.
Oh,
Well, in that
It's
case,
actually problematic.
it's yeah. So I think statistically, it's worth getting a dictator
yeah.
because failing
I
this
agree.
is losing.
That's right.
Yes. And even pulling back the legions from the provinces would be worth it. So losing
With the
senators in the
internal
end is not
disorder?
as bad.
Well, basically,
That
to
would
get
mean
the 80% flush, we would have to pull back those 2 units because I think even when we're doing the math, we had to reduce the 10 down to a 9 to get the extra unit over in Sicilia to bring it up to 70%. So really, it was 80, 73, 73, around that kind of percentage mark.
Yep.
So I think it's shown that it's relevant to get a dictator to increase the survival.
All right. So, consults, who you going to nominate?
Make sure your dictator isn't an elder.
Isn't it? Well, yeah, there's only really 2 options.
Likewise for your master of horse.
Well, 3, there's still Valerius from mine, but I thought he's still got a lower military rating only of 1. So I still thought it kind of fell to over in Cassius.
Yeah, I've got a military rating of 3.
That was the
Yeah.
military rating of 3.
Yep.
And the other one was
That's
over
it.
here, Sempronius.
Military of 1.
Yeah, but it's not.
Picks
So
up
if
swords
you
by the
would-
wrong end.
Marka, if you would, for example, consent to a prosecution with Aemilius Paulus Macedonicus, then we could appoint him master of horse, for example.
But see, this is a problem. What if we accidentally kill the guy?
Is it
A minor
empty?
one
Is
wouldn't,
it
though.
minor? We can't.
Minor wouldn't?
Minor
No.
you can't kill in a minor prosecution.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. All right, then.
Well,
Let's
we
just do
don't-
that.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So
definitely.
it's always good when the accused consents to being
Yeah.
tried.
Yeah.
I was about to say I'll have to play you the song I wrote in my break. It lines up perfectly. Yeah, look, that would be good because he has a higher military rating as well too. It would make it. Yeah,
Consensual prosecutions.
consensual prosecution.
Ram into the bootstraps, isn't it?
Well, no, maybe it's more akin to pleading down to a lower charge.
That is true.
Yes, that's what it is.
I think some people do enjoy humiliation as well too, isn't a thing, you know?
Well, you can build a political career out of it. Look at Trump.
It's true. It's true. Anything that draws attention. Some people like attention. Give me attention. Attention, please.
So
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea.
the thing is, we cannot decide the appointment, right? Once we have voted for or appointed a dictator, it's out of our hands. So we actually
Okay,
can't
why
do
don't
it.
we just appoint Macedonius or whatever?
So, Marka, so you said Cassius, correct? To
Yeah.
appoint Cassius as dictator? I will consent to this then now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not appoint him.
All right. We have a consensual appointment
Yeah.
of a dictator.
Mm-hmm.
And so that will be this gentleman over here. Macedonicus, is that what we said?
No, Cassius.
Cassius. Where's he?
He is in
Oh, yeah.
Marcus Decimus.
Yes, Marcus Decimus Meridius' Cassius will become dictator. Ah, yes, yes. And therefore, the dictator will now announce his master of horse.
Yes. After I click buttons. Oh, in the opposite direction, which I just clicked.
Yes, don't forget your influence. Good.
There we go. So I shall name my master of horse as Macedonius.
Aha, there we go.
Thank you.
We'll need his military strength by my side as
Yes.
we prosecute against the enemies of Rome.
Yes. You
Right,
need a
huzzah.
behind man to support.
Now, don't forget to add your influence there, Mark Guedia. 3 influence for him.
1, 2, 3. Yep.
All right. Let's have a look. So we've done dictator, so we now need to look for a censor.
Do
He
indeed.
should be an elder person, an elderly, right? Because we should leverage our elders here now.
Our elders who can't do much else.
Yes.
Just leave the censor marker where he currently is. That just gives an indicator. Although the same censor can be elected again, it's just nice to know who was currently censor.
There's also Acilius with Quintus Octavius. Otherwise,
I think Calpurnius can do it. My
And the
favourite.
censor can obviously be an elder, so
Alright.
that's fine.
I guess yes. I'm going to put forward Camponius as my nominee for censor. Tiberius, I'll hear your vote for this proposal first.
17 in favour.
Marker, I'll hear yours next.
16 in favour.
Marius, I'll hear your vote next.
17 in favour.
Quintus Octavius,
I will put my 2 in favour.
Appius Rufius,
7 in favor.
and I'll place my 15 in favour as well.
Fast.
At this stage, I hand over the Fuscus to the censor for any prosecutions they may wish to proceed with.
Well, this will surprise everybody, but I'm going to propose a minor prosecution of Senator 19A, Macedonius.
Now, just make sure you add your influence for censor too while we're paused here for the moment. Don't forget that. Wouldn't want you to miss out on that. And
So tell me what I've done wrong.
Flew too close to the sun.
Too close to the sun. Too handsome, too buff. I was making everyone else feel bad.
But crimes against beauty.
Yeah. Look at that nose and those cheekbones. I feel like,
For a second, I thought we were heading towards like the steroid use. No one could be that buff, that handsome. We must prosecute him.
But don't forget that we need a prosecutor. He brings charges against
true.
The statesman.
That is true. So I nominate that person.
You're looking for a willing prosecutor and a willing advocate, although if there is no found advocate, the defendant will represent themselves.
I'll advocate. No, there we go. I put myself forward as an advocate.
You also
Which
want to
senator
put
in
yourself
particular?
forward- Do you want to put yourself forward as prosecutor as well?
Yeah,
so
I'll
you
prosecute.
even
So
out?
Valerius will prosecute and
Yeah.
Macedonius will defend. There we go.
All right, so Macedonicus is going to represent himself,
Yep.
and Valerius from the same faction is going to prosecute. All right, incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right, so the trial is valid and can proceed.
So the prosecutor goes first?
Normally,
Typically.
Okay. So Valerius brings the charges of basically social disruption. Basically, it's making everybody else unhappy that you have too much power. And so I have to take it away from you by negging you down a notch and reminding you that you might have a big nose, but you have a really small something. So, I just, it was to humiliate you. And as an advocate, I say that may all be true. I agree with you, but, clearly the things that I do have worked in my favor. Otherwise, you wouldn't be so jealous.
Guilty of the crime of being really, really good looking.
Yeah, basically.
it's one of the weirdest prosecutions I've ever seen.
Yep, I'm going to remember. The scribe is refusing to write these ones.
the publishers of this game are rolling in their graves right now.
I thought this thing did happen in Rome. Do you know what I mean? It's like, monkeys and things like that and trying to,
It's all political balance.
Yeah.
All right,
So
Sensei.
judges. Over to you, Censor.
Oh, sorry. What do I need to do?
So if you look at your cheat sheet on the right-hand side, that gives you the rough formula of what's about to happen. But to briefly summarize, because I can see where this is going in terms of a result, second page, scroll down, you can see the formula there. But really what you're going to do is, in the first instance, you'll call for a vote of the Senate like you normally would on any other proposal. Just have your senators or your factions make sure they're objectively specifying whether it's for or against the vote to ease in your tallying. At the point in which you call upon Marco Guerrieria's faction, they could call upon a popular vote, which adds an additional spectrum into the voting, albeit because I guess you're all looking to have this go against the defendant, they probably won't call for a popular appeal. And then subsequently, you'll do the trial votes and add that on the end of both the prosecutor and defendant, albeit I think those points will be moot based on what you see in the Senate results. But that's what essentially you're going to do. All right.
All right. Well, we've heard the precise and surgical prosecution of the obviously guilty accused. And
hang on, don't be voting yet. Wait for the census call.
And we've heard the shabby, misdirected defence. So I will ask for Marcus for you to find guilty or not guilty.
Guilty.
Numerius Aurelius, guilty, not guilty.
Well, got half a mind to veto this after those disparaging comments.
As long as it's only half a mind.
I'm not sure. This seems a bit. What's the word?
Fixes in.
Low.
Maybe a mockery of the justice system.
Yes, exactly. It's low for the justice system. But I won't ruin everyone's parade. I will just make a moral stand with my 17 nay votes in the name of honour.
Quintus Octavius.
Yeah, they're going to guilty.
Yay. Guilty. Appius. Rufus.
Guilty as charged.
I will find also guilty. And last but not least, Marco Bellia.
And of course, the
Guilty
defendant
sin.
gets to allocate a number of votes equal to the influence as well. Now, it'd be interesting to see here if the rules allow those influence-based votes, in other words, 31 votes to any direction, or if it's only written that they can defend themselves with it. And if it is only that they can defend themselves with it, i.e. not guilty, is it optional to apply those votes? So, but, you know, noting the consenting defendant here, I think we could perhaps waiver that, regardless if it goes against our views here.
Because it's still already more than whatever it is on the guilty side.
True, but then you've got your trial votes to consider as well, which may sway one way or the other.
Yeah, so if 31 went to nay, it would be 9 in favour for guilty currently.
And is the trial votes enough to sway those 9 votes?
So
Might as well calculate that. That way you can be 100% sure.
Sorry, I missed the last bit.
So the trial votes, if you look down here on the cheat sheet there,
well, they would have to roll a 10 or higher.
2d6 plus the advocate's oratory. So these are all votes favour of not guilty minus the prosecutor's oratory. There you go.
All right.
So a negative.
So what's the prosecutor's? So it was a 9 minus. Who was the prosecutor? Sorry.
Also Marco Bellia.
Valerius. Valerius. So it's 2. So 9 minus 2.
Yep.
Give us 7, which gives us no change. So with 9 votes positive to the yeah, even with the 31 influence going to nay, it's still guilty.
Cool. Yeah.
And that counted
All
the defendant's oratory as well, of 5?
Oh, I thought it was the no.
Yeah. So he's got to count himself as well as the into that equation.
So it would be 7 plus the 5. Then it would be set as plus 20 votes. Then he would be not guilty in that case.
I think those 17 nays is what swayed it.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Sounds like he was let off after all that.
Numerius.
I didn't realize it'd have that much of an impact.
Yeah, those
It's only
31
17
defending votes.
31 plus the 20.
Yeah.
Does that include the was that the trial votes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That last
so
bit was the trial votes.
They rolled a 9, minus
Oh,
2
yeah.
to 7, plus 5 to 12. And they just needed a 12 or above.
Wow.
Numerius, it just goes to show that the road to hell is paved with good intentions in Rome as it is elsewhere. So
That's exactly right.
Hold up. Determines how many extra trial votes are added or subtracted on the behalf of the accused. It doesn't specifically say where.
on the behalf of the accused. Yeah.
So the accused might willingly put them in the guilty section.
Yeah, and cool. So that's good to get that clarity, right?
Yeah,
So if the rules are ambiguous enough that the defendant
They're
could allocate their
ambiguous enough.
31
Yeah,
votes
so-
to in
On
so-
favour of
behalf of
prosecution.
you,
So the reason why I didn't add the plus 5 initially, because it says advocate's oratory. The defendant didn't have an advocate, right?
except himself.
True, but and so the rules stipulate that they're representing themselves. I guess you can ask the question: does that mean are they an advocate for the purposes of this calculation? And you note that a defendant who wins doesn't get the reward that an advocate would if an advocate was to win in a particular case. So potentially we might be right in that because there is no advocate here, those votes don't count, right?
Mm.
All right, well, let's just make
It
a
is
call.
technically counted as an
Is he
advocate.
guilty or not guilty?
Send it to the Supreme Court.
Well, we'll let the censor make judgment here based on the rulings that he's heard in the rule book, and obviously understanding what both the public consensus is as well as precedent. The censor here will get to make the final call.
He's guilty.
There we go.
That was easy.
All right. So let's initiate
Well,
the
the old law was like
repercussions of a minor prosecution now. Censor, do you know what they are off the top of your head?
Death.
I do not.
Not for minor. What was it? I have to look it up myself.
Yeah, let's look it up. I think this has some.
This is new ground, remember?
Yeah.
Move the advocate out of the way.
If the accused is convicted,
Am I minus
the
5?
prosecutor gains the prior consul marker.
Oh, there you go. So he'll gain Macedonius' proconsul marker. There you go.
No.
What else?
No, sorry. No, no, he loses. So sorry. With the minor prosecution, the consequences are, if the convicted, the accused loses 5 popularity. That's the first one,
And 5 influence.
and 5 influence.
There we go.
Any prior consul marker.
Not knights. Popularity. That's it. That's oratory up there. Yep. Good.
And he loses any prior consul marker.
Yep.
He must return all of his concessions to the forum.
No
But
concessions.
here it is not. Here it is not stipulated that the prior consul marker of the accused goes to the prosecutor.
So look in the advanced rules now for the rewards of a prosecutor winning a trial.
Okay, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
And I
fine.
think it's
I'm going there.
half of influence loss rounded up, which I think is they'll gain 3 influence. And I think it's I think it's 3 influence they'll gain for a successful prosecution here. Let's just double check that.
If the verdict is guilty, the penalties and rewards are carried out exactly as in the normal game, except that the advocate, provided
Which we
it
don't
is
have.
not the accused representing himself, loses 3 influence.
Yeah, so
Regardless
that
of
doesn't
the type of
happen.
prosecution.
Yep.
If the accused is representing himself and the verdict is guilty, the penalties and rewards are unchanged from the normal game.
Oh, okay, so it's A normal prosecutor. So who is what does that prosecutor get? I think it's 3 influence because it normally says it's half
It is
rounded
3, I
up, and half rounded up is 3. Who else got a rule book open? Race. What does the prosecutor get for winning?
It is. Let me see. I'm going there.
Control F prosecutor.
With a minor prosecution, but it's a minor prosecution, right? What?
Yep, correct. Minor prosecution.
So but successful prosecution. If the accused is convicted or dies as a result of the prosecutor gains the prior consul marker of the accused.
There you go.
Okay, that's for every prosecution. Yeah,
Correct.
that's first. Plus half fractions rounded up of any influence lost by the accused.
3, as I guessed. Cool. All right, so 8 plus 3. There we go. So Marcoidia and Valerius now gains an extra 3 influence. All right, good. So my memory serves me correctly. That's good. So great. I think we've resolved that there. So we'll just go back to the censor. If there's anything else that the censor wants to do at this point.
Nope. Move on.
All right. So what happens now, censor? What's your last advice to the Senate?
Party on.
Yep, that's pretty much translates to remove your corruption markers. Good. Well done.
Right.
Everybody remove your red corruption markers and the corrupt portions of your concessions. All your red squares can go back to the middle. And any returned governor things, they're probably going to stay for the moment, noting who people just come back. So leave your returned governor stamps there, just your corruption markers can go back. So no red squares, no corruption portions. And then the Fuscus will go back over to the dictator.
Thank you very much. I believe our next point of action will be to send governors to our ungoverned provinces.
Great.
We've got Hispania Ulteria. Let's have a look. Do we have any non-elders that can go that we don't want to have for the next? We don't have meat for the next.
3.
I've got
4.
Sempronius in my faction that can go out again. He's already returned governor, but he likes it out of town, especially if the town's about to fall to.
That's right. I think if you consent, that doesn't matter. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Consenting governors are allowed to go, yes.
But could we also send the unaligned senator in the forum there? Because if he would die, then no one would lose a senator.
That's right. Nobody's sad. That's right.
Nobody's
All right.
sad.
True.
Sacrifice him then for sure.
Sure, I'll give that a shot. We'll go for the proposal. I'm going to send the unaligned senator to go govern Hesperia Ulteria. I'll hear from Marco first. Numerous, I'll hear from you next.
Don't forget to announce your votes when you put them out.
17 votes in favour.
Quintus Octavius.
2 seconds. Where is he going?
Hispania Ulterior.
Ulterior. All right. Yeah, mine are in favor.
Appius Rufius. Your votes,
7
please.
Yeah, 7 in favor.
And Tiberius Cornelius.
17 in favor.
And I'll place my 15 votes in favor as well.
Nice.
Action is passed.
Easily done.
All right. Let's send old mate out there. And take the governor stick out there too. Great. All right. He is deployed. We have met all our legal provincial obligations, I think. Nice.
All right, if that's all happy, then the next thing I want to put forward as a proposal to raise 1 legion. I'll hear from Marco first. Tiberius.
17 in favor.
Appius Rufius.
7 in favor.
Quintus Octavius.
2 in favor.
Numerous.
17 in favour.
I'll place my 15 votes in favor for that as well. The 1 legion is herefore raised. Can I have someone please take money from the treasury?
I will. Okay.
Do we
Right,
need naval
right.
forces?
Say again?
Have we got sufficient naval forces?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, already had a bit of. I even half considered if we should lower any of our naval forces, but looking at the next turn, it's probably just worth keeping them.
I admire your optimism.
We
all right. And then in that case, probably after this, I'll mainly be considering. What else do we have? We've got concessions we have to place out. Let me have a look. All right. Tax Farmer 3. I'm going to put forward some of our elders to go back into the farms.
Make them useful.
Helios, number 12. Marco, I'll hear your vote for the proposal.
I think you're on
Tiberius?
mute there, Mark Awedia, just in case you're wondering.
Tiberius, I'll hear your vote for the proposal.
What's the proposal, sorry?
That we're putting forth the Tax Farmer 6 for the nominated senator as receiving the concession.
That seems fair. I'm in favour of that.
Appius Rufius.
7 in favor.
I'll hear from Quintus.
I suppose it's something I should agree to.
Aurelius.
17 in favor.
I'll place my 15 in favour as well.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
All right, let's have a look. We have another concession, Sicilian grain. Let's have a look at that.
For those watching at home, the current presiding magistrate, the dictator, is just deciding potentially on where to propose the other concession up here is going to go, which appears to be mining, I think. 3 talents a turn. That's good for.
I was.
Doing Sicilian.
Oh, so sorry. No, I was looking at the wrong square. The Sicilian grain is still burning. We'll have to wait till that cools down.
Can I just make a suggestion to the dictator? If we wish to have another show trial against Scipio Africanus, then he needs something to be tried for.
That is true. That is true. And mining is certainly something that seems worth prosecuting for. I'll put forward the proposal that Scipio Africana be issued the concession for mining. I'll hear from Marca.
You're on mute there, Mark Awedia.
Tiberius, I'll hear your vote next.
17 in favour.
Appius Rufius.
Yeah, 7 in favor.
Quintus Octavius.
2 in favour.
Numerous.
17 in favor.
And I'll place my 15 in favour for the proposal.
I just want to check. Was it just me that couldn't hear Mark Awedia, or could everyone else hear?
I didn't hear her either.
Oh, okay, cool. No worries. She acknowledges it. That's all right. She's working on it.
Yeah, I can't hear.
All right. The next thing to consider is, do we want to go for the treasure chest? I know we're in kind of a needy spot, but we also are going to be using very little of our naval forces this turn. We certainly won't have the spare forces next turn for anything. So what I think we might do is run through some of the calculations, look at our current forces with the dictator in mind, and see if we can spare the legions. If not, and it puts Rome at risk, we won't do it. But I think it's worth going through what those calculations look like now. So let's have a look. I think certainly what we'll do is we'll send the dictator to the Spanish revolt because he will have the largest commander strength. So we'll need forces equal to that to utilize all of that. So we only have one war that I think it's valid to send the dictator to. Let's see how little forces we can send with the dictator. Because what we've got a 3 plus 5. So can we send as little as 8 or even lower? But we've got to be aware of once we go down to 7, then our commander strength becomes 7. So let's say we go commander strength of 8, legions 8. We go up to 6. We'll do 6 and 11-16. All right, so that's what, a 94?
It's pretty positive.
So let's say we go commander strength 7, legion strength 7. That's still 90. We go down to 6. All right, so it's going too low. So we've got, if we send 7 legions, which lowers our commander strength to 7, we get a 90% chance of victory, which gives us 7 available legions to send to Sicilia. So we will be sending our Rome consul, field consul, which has military rating of 2. So yeah, we bring that down to 2, and we change our strength to 0 and 0. So the question is, can we take 3 strength out of this and still look good? 7, 6, and I think the answer is no. All right, so I think that answers out.
Could we take 1 and allocate it to Julius to strengthen his hand?
I think we did that calculation before and we looked okay, but I do hear what you're saying. Let's see, if it drops down to 6, that brings it down to the 83.
It's probably much the same then.
Yeah, I think it's probably much of a muchness. So what I think we're currently considering a 7-7 split.
Correct.
I open the floor for any thoughts on that idea of a 7-7 split. I'm happy to redo any of the calculations if people would like to have a look again. Both seem to give us a 90%. So I believe Julius is about an 83.
Pop over to your faction, mate.
No. All right,
But isn't it?
let's
wouldn't it be
do it.
better to put
Wasn't me, mind
everything?
you.
What?
At
Wouldn't
least
it
it's
be-
not the dictator.
Wouldn't it be better to put every resource we have gotten?
We've got a assassination attempt, so I think we'll probably have
Okay.
to.
Sorry.
No, it's
I
all right.
didn't-
So somebody is assassinating? Who is assassinating?
That would be the elder senator Aurelius, who just received his tax former.
And who is the target of the assassination over here as per
Alias, the
Nice
faction
one.
leader of
Alias?
Atlas.
Right. We can always have trust in that in Rome, in its time of need, there'll always be an assassination attempt.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go through the process then. Pending any cards being played at the moment, we look up at the little box up here on the assassination table for those playing along at home, and it's as simple as a 1d6 being rolled by the assassin. We're looking for 5 or above in his case, or something below. So, assassin, when you're ready, you can roll your 1d6.
Well, he's elderly, so I don't have much faith in him.
Feeble hands.
3.
No, he's fine. He passed.
Nothing
me just
happens.
like the
Again,
closed job.
Nothing happens.
There's been a lot of nothing happens in the last couple of assassination attempts. Yeah.
That's
Interesting.
quite
All right.
disappointing.
Respective tokens will go out, so these factions can't participate as send or receive again in this Senate phase. We now return from this commercial break back to the news. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, all right.
I believe the floor was opened for considerations for the 7-7 split of our military forces.
Shouldn't we push every possible, every resource we could gather into assure that we have the highest probabilities to win the wars? Isn't this the priority? So we have the private wealth of some senators is high enough in order to finance the treasury, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the 7-7 split would be, in my estimations, the best splitting of resources in order to get the best percentage. That would give us about a 90, 90, 80, 82 would be our roles for victory.
And there's no forces available to recruit, are there, other than what we've recruited?
The only other decision is if we pull the 2 legions out from our
could we also make a consideration, a possible plan? Could we calculate the probabilities for such a plan also, that we can contrast this plan with the other?
If we pulled the legions, is what you're suggesting?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So where are they pulled from?
The Hispania, Soteria, and I believe Illyricum? Or no, Cyprus.
That's it. Yeah, two garrison legions currently out there, right now, ready to defend against the next internal disorder. But of course, they couldn't be withdrawn. Yes.
So basically,
that was just there for the disorder. Yep, never mind.
We can go up to like a 98 for the Sicily because there's no disaster or standoff numbers. It's getting, we would only fail this if we rolled flat ones at a chance of 1.85%. So it would be an increase of about 8% for one of the 3 rolls. Now, the thing that the Legion is providing being out is making sure that those provinces don't rebel and add wars to the next turn. That would be the concern.
Yeah, I think keep it as is.
Scribe would just like to know one thing. Would this be all one massive proposal, or would this be 3 individual proposals?
It would be in individual. I was just opening the floor.
Thank God.
Yeah. I'll break it all down, but I was basically opening the floor to allow the discussion of. Let's see. Is our Hesperia interior developed? I believe yes.
It is.
Yeah, yes.
And it's the developed province don't get the rebellion, or
Correct.
is everyone? Yep. Okay. So we don't need to worry about that then.
I was wondering about the thing. Is it really that much of an issue that they might rebel during one turn?
Yes.
That makes them another war.
Yeah. So we've got a war coming in. So next turn we already have 4 wars next turn, even if we do a complete. Actually, correct me if I'm wrong. We were saying that this does count as a second war?
Correct.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So we'll defeat 1, defeat 2, defeat 3, leaving 1, 2, 3 with 1 war coming in. So next turn we're going to have 4 wars. If that turns into another 6 wars with 2 rebellions coming in,
dang,
it'll probably start to be too much because we're avoiding the larger wars. But like we could probably do it again, but then we're starting to take on ages. We're starting to kind of.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's getting more risky then. I think it's acceptable to do this 7. Well, let's we did the calculation before. What's 90, 90, 83?
I think it's only like 69%.
Really?
I can do a proper calculation for you.
It was 57% before, so I mean it's probably a little bit extra being 90.
So wait, what we did was
0.9 times 0.9 times 0.83.
Yeah, but then you have the probability that they will all succeed. But what we need is what is the probability that at least one will not succeed, and this is 1 minus this probability, right?
Yep.
So the probability
So,
that
yeah,
at least
you're
one
correct,
will
yeah.
not
So 60,
succeed.
67% that all three will succeed. So yeah,
1 minus this. Wait, what did you? What is the actual probability that everything would go
33%,
93%,
approximately.
right?
So, well, 1 minus 0.67 is 33%.
So currently we've got a 33% chance to fail, or a 67% chance to succeed.
So a 1 in 3.
Think positive.
Yeah. Lucky fingers.
Do we get our portable dice?
Yeah, yeah. I got to pull in a few of those sixes we rolled before. Well, I think that's generally our option. I don't think we're wanting to pull any legions out to secure the provinces. The risk of having something much worse for us next turn, which would just lead to defeat anyway, we've got to play a little optimistically as well. I think I'm happy with the idea of a 7-7 split. I'll open the floor for any other business to occur at this time before I start looking at doing military matters. All right, if there are none, I am going to propose that we send the field consul with an attachment of 7 forces to proceed to the retaking of Sicilia against the rebel forces. I'll hear from Marca first.
16 votes in favor.
Tiberius.
18 in favour.
Appius Rufius.
7 in favor.
Quintus Octavius.
2 in favor.
Aurelius.
21 in favor.
And I'll place my 15 in favor for the proposal.
Right. That's that legislation passed. What war is that going to?
The Sicilia, the rebels there.
I'm just going to tuck these wars up out of the way here a little. You're not touching the Punic, are you, in your plans?
No.
Right, move that out of the way.
These are the 3.
All right, field consul, don't forget to subtract your votes now.
Yes, true. Put an away from Rome marker out there. Where's Plautius live over here?
All right. While that's occurring, I'll put forward my next proposal that the dictator, being accompanied by his master of horse, will take a force of 7 legions.
Don't you do the Rome consul first? Because if you do that, it ends it.
He's not going anywhere.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's right. We got the other guy attached. Do we need to describe that first in the vote?
I don't believe so. We're not proposing that he withdraws or anything. He already has his orders.
True.
So he's good to attack again?
Yep. Unless you withdraw him, he's good to go.
All right, just wanted to make sure that was correct instead of...
Yep. So I'll continue the proposal, but I will start again for ease of the scribe. That the dictator and the master of horse taking the 7 remaining legions, and I'll say 4 naval fleets to go forth and prosecute the Spanish revolt. I'll hear from Marca first.
13 votes in favor.
I'll hear from Tiberius.
18 in favour.
I'll hear from Appius Rufius.
7 in favor.
Quintus Octavius.
Mine in favor.
Aurelius.
21 in favor.
I'll place my 15 votes in favor. The Senate is closed.
Ah, there we go. Pretty efficient.
Well done.
I like
it.
it.
Was just those 7 and 4, right? Just to make sure. Cool.
I feel like all my men are leaving me.
Oh no. All right, away from Rome markers are out there, so adjust your vote tallies, although the Senate session's over now anyway. And what we might do, I think we'll still do a combat phase tonight, but we might take a break right now, so let people compose themselves, and then we'll come back in 5 minutes and let's do some combat phase, because I think we're all pretty keen to see how this goes. So if you're watching live, give us 5 minutes. We'll be right back, and we'll go into the combat phase. See you all very shortly. Hello, welcome back. We are now back from the break here in the Republic of Rome board game broadcast. I am Decimus Aurelius, hosting this session between our 6 factions here in this 17th session of this particular game. We are about to enter into the combat phase. Let's bring that up on screen, which is all good things. And we're going to start bouncing through these wars. So the way we'll play these out is, because it was already out there, we're going to hit the first Gallic War first. Then we'll do Sicilia with Plautius, and then finally the last one with the dictator Claudius, and Macedonicus is Master of Horse. So that is the order we'll do them in, 1, 3, 2. Starting off with Julius as the commander, which belongs to Tiberius Cornelius. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to alter my view up to the combat results table. And let's go through the calculations. So first of all, making sure we've got the commander's rating, which is 4 legions out there in the number. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, the legion count. Enemy is 10. There's no fleet support required here. So that's all looking good. The disaster standoff numbers are 13 and 15. So these are the numbers that we cannot roll at all, because they must be victories in each of these cases. So it will be a 3d6 plus 9 is what's going to occur here. So that's pretty good odds, I think. Well, not pretty good odds last time, but hopefully it all goes well. So Tiberius Cornelius, leading us off with our first victory, if you would please. 3d6 at your leisure.
I will pass the speaking stick to Pontifex Maximus first.
Thank you very much. So today we're going to be very humble before Mars, and we beseech him to bless us. Not once.
Who's that, Pontifex Maximus?
Hey, can you hear me?
I don't think he can hear you. He's off and racing already.
I'll reset.
I can hear you. I can
We can hear you.
I don't think.
Pontifex Maximus, can you hear us? Numerus Aurelius? Is that you?
Yeah, I'll reset.
Yeah, we can all hear him. You can't.
Oh, I can't hear him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bugger. Let me do a quick refresh at my end. It sounds like he gave his prayer, did he?
He was working on it, yes.
He's well into it.
Oh, he's resetting as well.
Yes.
He was invoking the blessings of Mars, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
I'm back.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I shall begin again so that Mars does not get angry at us.
Yeah, we don't want to hit those omens. That's right.
All right. So, Mars, we come humbly today before you. And we ask for not 1, but 3 victories. And we ask that each one of them is so resounding that the upcoming wars after these victories are also victories, that our enemies are scared into submission by our feats today. So, Mars, please let us be victorious. Thank you.
I'll just add to the pragmatic perspective that if there's no Rome, there is no temples to Mars. So it's his own self-interest to get the results on the board.
Very true.
Okay. Ready to roll?
Yes, please. 3d6. Let's see how we do. Three 3d6. 11 plus 9.
13, no 15.
Smashed it.
Good. No 13, no 15. That is quite comfortable. I think that's what? No losses?
Victory,
No
no
losses.
losses.
Great
job,
right,
Julius.
Yay!
Yeah,
It's a great start, isn't it?
And that was our lowest percentage too.
Don't jinx us.
So let's quickly step through the administration after each victory. First of all, let's lower that unrest level by 1, please. Good. Then from here, let's upgrade one of those legions. So they're commander of Julius. Which one would you like to upgrade to veteran status?
The 6th.
Make sure you grab yourself your token for Julius's card back in Rome.
Where are they?
Next to the legion bag, just there. All right, good. Now, command increases popularity and influence by half, fractions rounded up of the unmodified land. So 5. in each case. So 5 popularity to a maximum of 9 and 5 influence for Aurelius too. While you're there, while you're looking for the Legion of Legions marker. So what did you say? Which one did you bring up? 6?
6th.
6th.
There it is.
There it is. Perfect. And yes, 5 popularity and 5 influence for Aurelius as well, while you're back down there doing some administration for him. But otherwise, yeah, good first victory there. No losses, so there's no death chits needing to be drawn there, which is good. And we've upgraded our veteran. Excellent. That's all looking good from my end. I don't think I've forgotten anything. That's good. Victories, clean victories like that are quite simple. So we can get rid of that age marker for the moment. Get rid of that.
20 gold.
And now let's calculate the results here. Let's add 20 talents to the state treasury, please. That's happening. Very good. And victory creates the province of Gallia Cisalpina. So if somebody wants to bring that province out and stick it in the forum for us, that's really good.
I will do it. Right.
Thank you. And otherwise, that is good to go to the delete pile. That's that war taken care of.
And I've just noticed, so I think we've got the wrong dictator general card out.
Ah, Cassius. Yeah, I see. Let's correct that. Make sure we have it, because we want that'd be missing us on a military rating. Move him out of the way, just so we're not confusing ourselves. Yeah, that's a good pickup.
Mm-hmm.
Cassius is second Middle Republic.
Yes, middle. Yeah.
Where's Cassius? There he is. Got him.
Yeah.
How do we colour in the map?
Nice.
The map.
Yeah.
I guess the game master will do.
Yeah. Cool. So what do we call up? Gallia.
Cisalpina?
Yeah.
Now, which part of France is that, or which part of
the top part of Italy?
The very top part of Italy? We all happy that's correct?
Yep. Up
All right.
around the Alps.
Here we go.
We'll find out.
Hey.
Hey.
That's always quite nice, isn't it? All right. That's done. Okay, cool. Let's move on to conflict number 2 then with Sicilia. This should hopefully be an easy one with Platius. So Marquedia, I'm going to get you to be ready in just a moment. All right. Let's start putting up the calculations on the calculator. Let's put a military rating of 2 for the commander, 2 for the enemy strength. Danger noodle numbers are 0. There are no danger numbers. And look at 4, 5, 6, 7 in strength for our legion. So we're going to add 7 to this 3d6 by the looks of things. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Marquedia, 3d6 when you're ready.
Eight.
Nice.
8 plus the 7 is 15.
3
Cool.
legions.
That's a victory. Couple of losses
Okay,
there.
I'm just like, where's the thing?
Great
That's
job,
all right.
Claudius.
It is a victory. Well done.
Cool. Good.
Cool. So good. So Quintus Octavius is going to determine which 3 have died. First death. Second.
Oh, first one.
And there's 3. All right, let's throw those 3 back into the Legion bag for us. And now let's pull out the remaining 3 and allow Marquedia to select the veteran.
Ooh, just randomly?
Yeah, you get to pick. You get to pick which one upgrades. All right, so which one would you like to be a veteran?
This one.
Cool, 19?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so the 19th is now going to become a veteran. Somebody wants to flip that one over. And somebody wants to support in getting the 19th veteran marker for Platius back in Rome. That will be ideal. And that's 1 influence and 1 popularity for Platius as well. 1 influence and 1 popularity. That's not bad. But we also have to draw death chits as well. So we're looking for 17. Marquedia, if you want to go over to the mortality chit bag and draw out 3 mortality chits for us, please.
Yep.
Just don't draw a 17.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good.
How many?
3. Great. Well done.
One question though. One
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
we lost legions, right? And
Yes.
if there is a lost legion, the
Correct.
veteran allegiance markers have to be checked also, right?
So there will be some popularity losses. So although gained a popularity, the subsequent losses, for example,
I mean the senators who are already holding, for example, the 9th Legion allegiance, which the 9th Legion was lost, and now what happens to the allegiance marker of the 9th Legion, which was lost?
Oh, you're saying so? There's a senator with the 9th Legion.
It's a card to the Elder, for example, here.
who's got it currently?
Kato the Elder.
Cato the Elder, and we lost the 9th Legion. Am I correct?
All right. So if we lost the 9th, then obviously the Legion allegiance marker goes with it. Yep. So the commander commander loses 1 popularity for every 2 legions lost rounded down. So we lost 3, rounded down is 2. So he doesn't actually get that popularity in the end. So, but he will get the influence. So 0 popularity and 1 influence for Plautius in the end there for that one.
Do we decrease the unrest at all?
Yeah, we do because it's still a victory. So we'll go down to unrest to 7. That's very good. Next
Huzzah.
one.
So 1 influence only.
Yeah, just 1 influence is all you'll get out of that. Yep, no popularity. All right. Now I think that all the administration for that one's wrapped up. So let's put Seculia back in the forum. Be allocated, and that one's dealt with. Okay, from here, final combat for the Lastanian War, the first of 3 Spanish revolts.
Yep.
We're going to have.
And just to note, the commander strength for this will be 7 because your commander strength can only be as high as the number of legions you're leading. So that's why it's going to be 7 and 7.
Nice. Okay, lovely. Good pickup. The odds are still pretty favourable, provided we don't roll a 6, an 11, or a 16. Are the danger numbers for this one. 6, 11, or a 16 are no good. Let's go back up to the combat results table for everyone playing at home. Okay, Commander, 3d6 when you're ready.
13.
That's good.
Yes.
13 plus 8.
21.
Beauty. Smashed it.
Smashed
Smash
it.
it.
What were we
Rome
worried about?
lives.
Above and
Great.
beyond.
Of course,
Who
Rome
would've
lives.
thought?
Was there ever doubt?
I'm a survivor.
Yes.
I'm gonna make it.
Very good, very good. So let's roll through what going through here. So there's no reward for the Spanish revolt that's come out here, because I guess it wasn't a revolt, so we're not getting any cash for that. But the land strength 3, so we're looking at for 3 popularity and 3 influence for the dictator. Sadly, nothing for the Master of Horse. And of course, please select a veteran from all of the survivors. They all survived.
Let's have a look. Let's grab the 5th.
Cool. All right. Grab your Legion allegiance marker as well for Cassius back in Rome. And don't forget to give him his 3 popularity and 3 influence.
Yep,
And that'll
done.
be handy as you come up for the new State of the Republic address in the near future.
Very
And
much
of course,
so.
yes, we reduce the unrest level by 1 down to 6. So very favourable. And that will leave just 2, well, really 3 unprosecuted wars,
Mhm.
which is under the good tally. All right. I think that's everything we've taken care of. Influence, popularity, Legion allegiance, unrest. No losses for you to draw from there. So we maxed out. So that's all good news. Is there anything else we've forgotten? Otherwise, we're going to start to wrap up today's session after those 3 amazing victories.
Mhm.
I think we're really good.
Well done, team.
Well done, Senators.
Thank you.
I think that's absolutely fantastic. Well, let's call it quits there. Quit while we're ahead, as they say. And for those watching live, we'll do my end of session review. But for now, we'll say farewell to our magnificent Senators until we play next. So, Senators, there, please give us a walete.
Walete.
All right, we're transitioning, watching live. Don't go away. I'll be right back. Stand by. All right, we are back for our end of session 17 review here for the Republic of Rome board game broadcast. Wow, what a session that was. Again, we had our doubts as to whether we were going to be able to get through that cleanly. We had 6 wars on the board that we had to deal with. Initially, we didn't know there were 6. We thought there were 5, but that matching war actually counts for double there. but they took on the obvious choices, I think, there in the end. Left Aurelius to take on the Gallic, the Dictator and his Master of Horse taking on the other substantial, smaller of the wars, and then finally Plautius with that provincial revolt, as it were. And some pretty clean victories across the board there, not many losses. In fact, suffering some losses is probably not such a bad thing per se. We'll keep the treasury in the right area that we want it to be. They only gained, I think, about 20 talents out of all 3 of those wars because the other 2 weren't offering. And of course, more importantly, I think as well, they brought that unrest level down a little bit too, which was getting a little bit high. Hopefully, we see some senators throwing some games in the next forum phase, so there are no major issues there. But otherwise, that was fantastic. Really good victories there. They're not fully out of the woods. They're going to have another war come back in. They're still going to have 3 wars on the books, and of course, those will continue to age. We'll see what they do. Otherwise, they've done it again, which is fantastic news. All right, we might wrap up tonight's session there. It was really great. Hopefully, you can all catch us again for our next session, which will be session 18. I'm Decimus Aurelius. Thank you very much for joining us. And of course, until next time, Walete. Correct.